Hello, anyone can hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hi all. Good evening. Am I audible? Hi Venkat. Hi everyone.
Yeah, you are audible. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Start it. Start it.
Thank you. I'm sharing my screen. And before that, Aditya, Sirisha, Mangala, anyone want to? I hope everyone started practicing. So if anyone having questions, please let me know before starting the collections topic.
Venkat sir, I am good and you?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay then. I will start the collections. So please start practicing. Okay, daily basis. I'm sharing my screen. I have shared my screen. So yeah, I hope everyone able to see now. Is everyone able to see my screen? Uh, everyone, yesterday we have started the Java collections topic. So collections is a group of objects. So we are storing group of objects. So in collections, we can name it as collections framework, collection framework in Java. And the main interfaces of collection framework are java.util.collection, java.util.map. So we have two main collection interfaces, the collection framework interfaces. Okay, these are the root interfaces, java.util.collection and java.util.map. The list interface, just I am recap yesterday's topic high level. So the list interface. The list interface is the child interface of collections interface. Okay. So, and also the list interface, the collections and a map, everything we can identify in java.util package. So that is the reason yesterday I have shown this example. See, before writing, it means before starting the class in Java collections. So on top of the class, we need to write this statement. Import, that means we are importing package. The package name in collection framework is java.util package. So Java after util dot star means you are importing all the classes interfaces available in the util package. That's why we are not naming each one. We are giving star. That means all the classes and interfaces of util package will be imported in this program. So that's why in collections Java programming, you need to mention this statement on top of your class. Okay. So import java.util package. That means we are importing all the classes and interfaces. What are the classes? Array list class, linked list class, vector, stack. So all are examples of classes. Interfaces means list interface. See here, list is an interface, collection is an interface. So array list is a class. So in this example, as we have discussed yesterday, array list is a class, list is an interface, and always if class want to inherit the interface, we need to use the implements keyword. So array list class implements list interface. And we discussed like when two classes are using the inheritance concept, then we need to use extends keyword or two interfaces also. Example in this picture, list is one interface, collection is another interface. So list interface is extends collections. That means list is a child interface, like similar to child class, right? This is an interface, not a class. So list interface is a child interface which is inheriting the parent collection interface. So whenever you are using two classes or two interfaces, when you use the inheritance concept, then you need to use extends keyword. When you use one class and one interface, so when class want to inherit the interface, then you need to use implements keyword. Okay, that is the difference between two classes and two interfaces inheritance using extends keyword, and one class and one interface we can inherit the interface in the class using implements keyword. So here list is a interface, right? We discussed here. List is an interface found in java.util package. So it will inherit the collection interface. In this diagram, right? The list is extends collection. That means list interface is a child interface which is inheriting the collection interface. That means all the methods of the collection inherited in the list child interface. See here, we need to write like this. Public interface name. The interface name is list. Extends collection. Similar to Java only. Normally, how we will write in Java? Public. Java means class, I am saying. Sorry. Public class A extends B. Correct? So when you are using inheritance concept between two classes, we will write public class name is A. That means child class. Class A is a child class. Extends, that means inheriting, the parent class name is B. So when two classes at the inheritance concept, we will write the syntax like this. The same way, when two interfaces, list is one interface, collection is another interface. So we need to write public is access modifier, interface is a keyword, like a class, right? So class is a keyword, right? The same way, interface is a keyword and interface name. So interface name we are giving E. So extends collection. Okay. The E means not E means objects. Y means list, collection are the interfaces which we can use for storing the objects, right? That's why whatever objects we are storing, we are mentioning the data type of the object here inside the angular brackets, just for the declaration purpose. So the storing the list of objects in the collection interface. That is the meaning of this. So interface name is list, extends collection. So when you are using inheritance concept between two interfaces, we need to write the syntax like this: public interface name, extends the parent interface collection name. Okay. So here the array list in list interface is having methods. Okay. See here, the list is ordered. The list is storing the objects. Okay. So it will store the objects in an order way, and list allows the duplicate objects. We discussed yesterday, right? So the list, if you see here, list, the classes list is an interface implements by the array list class. That means in this example, just like several other user-defined interfaces implemented by user-defined classes, list is an interface implemented by the array list class. What they are saying in this diagram, array list is a class, list is a interface. So always the list interface methods, right? It will be implemented in the class. That's why the array list class is implementing the list interface. So in interface, as we all know, it is a having only method prototypes. That means method declarations. So in any interface, you won't have the method definitions. If list interface is having some 10 methods, means the 10 methods will be only declared in the interface, list interface, where we will define the methods. The 10 methods of the list interface means the class, array list class, which is implementing the list interface. So in this array list class, we need to define those 10 methods. So for example, I am saying, so that is the reason array list class is implementing the list interface. Okay. So the java.util package, we are importing this package in each program when you are writing the collection classes, because the util package is having collection of classes and interfaces. So when we are importing like this, import java.util.star semicolon. So when you are writing this statement, then that meaning is we are importing all the required classes and interfaces in this collections class. So for example, see, importing all the utility classes. This is an example they have given: class, class name. Okay. And within this class, we are writing public static void main. This is the main method when you are writing any class. And the same way syntax, a string array of arguments. So in the main method, we need to open any method in Java. We need to open curly braces and close with curly braces. So inside that, we need to give the lines of code, the logic is inside the method body. So we inside the curly braces, we can call method body, right? So we need to write lines of code based on your test case and requirement. So here in this example, inside that public static void main method, we are creating the object. L1 is a object. List is a interface, which is having the list interface is having group of objects of integer type. So in this example, in the list interface, we are storing the integer objects. That's why we are declaring list in within the angular brackets, the data type of the object we are mentioning. So in collections, main purpose is we are storing the group of objects, right? So list is a interface in the collection framework. So we are storing the integer objects inside the list interface. So list, we are declaring list which is storing in the integer type of objects. So we can declare like this: list angular brackets integer data type, and object name equal to new is operator, and array list is a class. So in array list class also, this is a class inside the collection framework, right? That means inside the list interface, the array list class is implementing the list interface. So that means within the java.util package, array list class is available. So array list class is storing the integer objects, because in collections, every class and in every interface storing the group of objects, right? And we are mentioning what data type of objects each class and interface is storing. So in this example, list is storing integer type of objects. Array list class also storing integer type of objects. So when you are creating an object for the array list class, so we need to write the syntax like this. First, we need to mention the list interface, because list is a parent interface for the array list class, right? Because array list is implementing the list. That means parent interface is list for array list. That's why when you are creating an object, we should give the parent interface name, object name equal to new. After new, we need to give class name. So in this example, L1 is an object for the array list class. So we are creating object L1, object name is L1. So this object is belongs to array list class. So the same Java we used to write, right? Class name, object name, new class name. So in the collections or in Java, we can create the object this way also. Interface name, object name equal to new class name. Okay. Earlier we used to write like this, right? Class A object equal to new A. That means we are creating obj for a class A, correct? Class A. But in this, and we can, and also in Java we can write this, we can create the objects. Here we am creating object for a class A, and here I am creating object for class array list, and the syntax we can write as interface. Okay, interface, I'm giving some L or list, I'm giving directly, and I'm giving L1 is a object name equal to new array list. And always when you're giving collections classes interfaces, we need to mention the data type, whether you are storing integer or whether you are storing double type of objects or you are storing string type of objects. You need to mention the data type of the storing objects. So array list, inside the array list, after array list, open angular bracket and mention the data type of the objects which you are storing inside the array list class and inside the list interface. So you need to mention like this: list integer, that means interface name, object name, new class name. Class name is array list, and we need to mention the data type. So this way also we can create object in Java. Okay. So here, after creating the list object, that means array list class object, we need to use the add method and interface, list interface. As we all know, interface is having set of methods, right, in Java. So list interface also having methods, add all, remove. So like that we have many methods. We will look into the methods in detail in going further. Okay. So in going forward, we'll get to know what are the methods available in the list class. So we have a add method available in the list interface. So list is interface. In the list interface, array list is a class. Okay. So L1 is object of array list class. So whenever you are giving like this, whenever you are giving class array list, okay, and you are giving integer, okay, implements list, which is integer data type. See, normally in the inheritance concept, a class implements interface, or when you use two classes, class linked list. Just I'm giving examples here. When we use the implements, when you use extends array list, okay, or we can write interface list, which is integer, or we can say string type. Just I'm writing how we can create, how we can use implements and extends keyword. Okay, extends interface. That means here you can say extends directly collection. So collection is an interface, right? Parent interface, as we have seen in the above discussion. See here, we can use the extends when you are using two interfaces, list and collection. So list is a child interface and collection is a parent interface. In this case, when you are when you are using inheritance concept between two interfaces, then we can use extends keyword. That means child interface list extend inheriting the parent interface. So between two interfaces, at the inheritance concept, we can use extends. So the same way, extends means when you are using inheritance concept between two classes, child class, linked list, parent class, array list. Okay, array list. So between two classes, when you are using inheritance concept, we can use extends keyword. The same way here, array list is a class. Class is always implementing the interface. So interface name is list here. So when class want to inherit the interface, then when you use one class, one interface, we need to use implements keyword. That means always class array list implementing list interface. That means all the methods available in the list interface will be defined in the array list class. Okay, so that is the difference when we can use implements keyword, when we can use extends keyword. So between two interfaces, two classes, and one class and one interface. So here this add method is available inside the array list class because array list class is implementing the list interface, right? So all the methods of the list interface will be utilized inside the array list because it is inherited from the list interface inside the array list class. So array list class is having add method because add method is belongs to list interface. Okay, so obviously the parent is list, right, for the array list. So add method of list will be used in array list because of the inheritance concept. So when you create an object for the array list class, then we are using object reference L1 dot the method name. So array list class is having group of methods. One of the method is add. What is the purpose of add means we are adding the objects inside the array list class. That means we are storing the objects because a collection framework means all the classes and interfaces storing the objects, right? So array list is one of the class in the collection framework. So we are storing the objects using add method. So when you can use how you can use add method in the array list class means sorry, this is also interview question. They will ask interviewer how you can store the objects inside the array list class. Then you need to give the answer. First, we need to create the object for the array list class, and we can use add method of array list class so to store the objects in array list. So syntax you need to mention. First, we need to create the object for the array list class by mentioning list name, object name. That means list means interface. The interface name, object name equal to new class name. And integer is a data type. That means list interface is storing the integer data type objects. Array list class is storing the integer data type of objects. That's why we are declaring while creating object, we are mentioning the data type of the objects which we are storing in the class and interface. So after creating object, we need to call the add method. That means object name dot add method, and we are passing at a 0th position because when you are storing the objects in the collection classes and interfaces, we need to use the positions. It will store the objects in the position base. So first starting position in any class and interface in collections 0th position. Okay. So like in array concept in C language, anywhere in Java, the indexes we can call, right? The first index in array is 0, second index is 1. The same way in the collections framework, the objects are storing in the collection classes and interfaces based on the positions inside the classes and interfaces. So in this array list, the 0th position, that means first position. So the 0th position, we are storing 1 as an object. 1 is an integer, right? If you see here, L1 is storing integer data type of objects. So 1 is an integer. So we are storing 1 inside the array list class. That means array list L1 is a object for the array list class, right? So that's why array list object L1 dot add meaning is we are storing integer object 1 at the 0th position. The same way L1 dot add method, we are storing the second integer. That means 2 is integer, right? So we are storing the two integer object at the first position inside the array list. So array list 0th position, what object we stored? Integer 1. In array list first position, we have stored two integer, two number. So we are storing 1 and 2 integer objects inside the array list class using the object L1. So this is the syntax. Object name dot the method name add method, and we are passing the integer objects, and we will mention the position of the object also. Okay. So currently array list class is having two objects, integer 1, integer 2. Okay. So when you are printing system.out.println of L1, L1 is object, array list class object. So when you are printing it, it will print 1, 2 because array list object is storing two elements, right? 1 and 2. So when you are displaying L1, the array list object, it will display the output of this statement is array, that means array list of 1 comma 2, because it is storing two objects. So here we are creating another object of list class. That means L2 is another object. Already we created L1, and again we are creating in this example a second object, that is L2. Object name is L2. So here also, as per the above syntax, the interface name, object name equal to new operator class name. The same way, the interface name, list is interface, right? Interface name, object name equal to new class name. So always after in the collection framework, after interface name, class name, we need to mention the data type of object which we are storing. So that's why after interface name, I am declaring and within the angular brackets integer. That means I'm storing the integer objects inside the list interface. So L2 is an object I'm creating for the array list class, because after the new operator, I'm giving the array list class name. So L2 also object for the array list class. So after creating the second object, again I'm calling add method. Add is a method of array list class, right? So I'm calling using the object reference of that array list. L2 is a object, right, which we are creating here. So using that object, I'm calling add method. So object dot add, I'm storing objects 1, 2, 3. We'll add list 12 from first index. If you see here, how to see indexes means positions. In the above, we have seen 0th index means 0th position. First position means the first index, like array concept only, right? These collections also. So the first 0th position is first element. That means we are storing 1. The second index, that means first position. So 0th position and first position. So we are storing the second number. The same way, here they are storing three objects, 3, 1, 2, 3 as a integer objects we are storing. And when you see here, they are using the first position and they are adding 12th. That means 12 means 12 objects. So see here, we'll add list L2 from one index. So here they are mentioning add all method. This is not add method, add all method. Okay, add all method means we are having 12 elements. So that means from index 1, okay, we are adding the 12 element. We have multiple methods inside the array list class. Add is a one method, add all is a one method. Using add, we are adding one object. Using add all method, we are using whatever objects you are passing, we can store multiple objects at the same time. Okay, when you are giving inside the bracket multiple objects, we can give add all method. That means it is adding all the objects inside the array list class. So L1 is a array list class, right? L2, sorry, L1 is an object of array list class. L2 also object of array list class. So we are storing the objects inside the L1 and L2 using add method and add all method. So we have different methods inside the array list class. Using add method, we are storing single object. Using add all method, we are storing multiple objects. So I'm printing the L1 also. Okay. And we have a remove method. Similar to add method, we have a remove method inside the collection array list class. So how you can use remove method means, after creating an object, we need to call use the object name dot remove method. So we are calling the remove method to remove the first index object. Okay. Remove one means it will remove the object stored in the first index. That is the meaning. So remove method will be used to remove the object from the index 1. Okay. And the same way we are printing L1. So why they are giving system.out.println again and again means, if you see here, first we have stored two objects, right, in the L1 object. If you see, L1 is a object of array list class. That means in the array list object we are storing two elements, one comma two integer elements. Okay, we can call elements objects. Naming convention is same. Okay, so because L1 is an object, you will get confused if I say 1 2 also objects. So we can, L1 is object, 1 2 also we can call name it as objects or elements. So inside the array list class we are storing the elements, that means objects. So after storing 1 comma 2 objects in the array list, I am printing that using system.out.println. And then what I have done, I have created a second object for the array list L2, and inside L2 also the three objects I am adding, three indexes, 1 2 3, three indexes, I am adding three elements. And we are using add all method. Okay, so we'll add list L2, okay, from first index. This is actually I think it's my mistake. I mentioned 12. This is not 12. L2. L2 means wherever we created L2, the object, the new object. This is a not 12, L2. So L2 is object, second object created for the array list class. What we are doing here, using add all method, okay, we are storing the L2 object, okay, L2 object we are storing from the first index. That means L1 is object, L2 is object. So L1 is the first object of array list class. So we can use the add all method. That means we can store the objects of L2 inside the object L1 using add all method. So when you are giving uh, two objects, that means one object L2 elements storing inside the object L1. So in that case, we need to mention the index number also. That means from which position you need to insert the objects of L2 inside the L1. Correct only, right? Because L2 is one object, L1 is one object, both are array list objects. So you are doing L2, you are storing the L2 objects, you are storing inside the L1. So you need to mention from which index you need to store the L2 objects inside the L1. So you are giving first index. That means starting from the first index, you need to store the L2 objects inside the L1 using add all method. Okay. It's my mistake. This is not 12 actually. So this is L2. Okay. So inside the L1 object, we are storing all the elements of L2 using add all method by referring the index. So starting index. So when we are executing program, we'll get idea how it will print. Okay. So if you see here, after adding all the L2 objects inside the L1, again I am printing system.out.println L1, because first is system.println here, this one. L1 object, I am adding two elements, right? 1 and 2, two integers I am adding inside the L1, and I am printing. And again I am doing, I am creating a L2 object. I am adding three elements again, 1, 2, 3. And again inside the L1, I am adding the all L2 objects. 1, 2, 3 again I am adding inside the L1, starting from the first index. So that's why again I am printing L1, because first time when I am printing L1 here, it will print only two objects. That means two objects only are stored inside the L1. But here already two objects are available, and again on top of it, I'm adding three objects of L2 inside the same L1. That's why when I'm printing system.out.println L1, it is printing five objects. Earlier, first initially we have two objects, and again I'm adding three more objects of L2 by using add all method inside the L1. So when you print L1 objects here using system.out.println, it will print five objects in this as outcome output. So after that, in the next line, I'm removing one object using remove method. So object dot remove of one. That means the first index object I am removing. So after that, after removing one object from the L1, again I am printing system.out.println. Then what will happen? Uh, Before removing, already in L1 is having five objects. When you remove the one element, one object, it will print here four objects. Okay. Just we want to see the difference, right? When we are executing the program. Why means we need to know whether all the operations of add method and remove method, add all method are working fine or not. So that's why after each method I am giving system.out.println to see the expected outcome is displayed when you after executing the program. So that is the purpose I am giving a system.out.println of after each operation. After add operation I have given, after add all operation I have given, after remove operation I have given to see whether the methods are working properly or not. So based on the output only we can take a decision, right? Yes, all the methods are working as expected. That's why we are giving system.out.println every time after the each method. So here see prints elements, printing the element at index 3 is in list 1. We have a for this operation. That means we want to print the element available at index 3 inside the array list L1. So for that we need to use get method. So we have multiple methods inside the array list class, right? Because array list class is inherited the list interface. So list interface is having all these methods: add method, add all method, remove method, get method. So the all the list interface methods inherited inside the array list class. So the we have created above array list class objects, right? L2 is a array list class object and L1 is a array list class object. So obviously we can use all the methods of list interface inside the array list class. So the remove method, add all method, add method, get method. So get method also to get the elements at a required position. That means at a required index. So here we are giving, we are displaying system.out.println means we are asking system to print the element, the object available at the index 3. So get of 3 means inside the get method, we are passing the index number. So at the third index of object, get the using get method, we are getting the element and then we are displaying it. So for that, when you call remove method, add all method, add method, how we are calling using object reference only, right? Because inside the L1 object only, we have all the objects. So we need to call the methods in Java using object reference. That's why every time we are calling object L1 dot remove method, object L1 dot get method. So when you are printing it, we are calling get method using object L1. So L1 dot get of 3. That means inside the L1 object, we have the elements, right? 1, 2, 3, up to some five elements are there. Five. So we are asking to print, we are asking to get the third index element from L1 object and we are displaying it using system.out.println. then the outcome of this is only one element will print. At the third index, whatever object is stored, right, that will print here in this statement as output. Okay. So, and also another operation, replace. So replacing 0th element with 5. So in the collections classes interfaces, we are storing the objects based on the indexes, right? So here we are saying at the 0th index, replace the whatever element available at the 0th element, 0th index with the 5 integer number. To do that operation, we need to use set method. So set also another method available inside the array list class. So L1 is a array list object dot. We are calling the set method to replace the objects at the required positions. So 0 is a position number, index number. So using set method, we are replacing the uh, available number with a 5 integer at 0th index. So always when you are using the methods, right, for the collections, you need to mention the position also, from which position you are removing, from which position you are replacing, from which position inside the collection class you are getting the elements. Here we are replacing, right? So 0th already one element stored at 0th index inside the L1 array list class. So inside the L1 array list class object, already some 5 elements stored, 1, 2, 3, something like that. Then what you are doing at a 0th position, that means first position, right? We are replacing the existing number with integer 5. So using set number. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm getting a call. Give me one. Thank you. So here, as I mentioned, set method is used to replace a available element with new element. So 5 is a integer, right? So new object I am replacing at the 0th position using set method. So these are all the methods available in array list class, and we are using for particular operations, the corresponding operations. So using set method, we are replacing the one element with another element based on the index. That's why they are mentioning replace the 0th position element with integer 5. So this is the syntax. Object name dot set method 0th position comma whatever integer you want to replace, you need to mention. So 5 integer I am replacing at 0th position. So again printing after replacing, again I am printing to see whether set operation, that means set method is working fine or not, whether the object is replaced or not. Sorry. So to check that, I'm giving once again system.out.println to see the output, whether I have got the expected output. So if after running this program is completed. So after giving all these lines of code inside this program, inside this class, okay, always see this is the class, the program which we are writing, and above class we need to give import. So don't forget in Java collections, always when you are creating a class, above class give import java.util.star. That means you are importing the all the classes interfaces available inside the java.util package inside this class. Okay, this is the first statement. Import the java.util package, and then define a class. So after define a class, writing the lines of code as per your requirement, then execute it. So execute it, then output of this program is like this, 1 2. See, I will show in Eclipse also anyway. Let it download and install. See, as per this, first output is 1 2. Why means, if you see here, first I am adding two elements, one integer 1, integer 2. So integer 1 I am storing in the 0th position. That means first element is 1, and I'm adding a second element in a first position. That means the second element adding as integer 2. So in the L1 object, I'm storing two elements, two integer elements. One is an integer, first integer, two is a second integer element. So when you when after this, after adding two elements, two integer elements, 1 and 2, I'm printing. That's why here the first output is 1 2, because in L1 object I have added the 0th position in array. In this is array concept, right? So collections also array concept only. So all the collections classes interfaces storing the elements. That means elements are objects, both are same naming convention. We are storing the elements inside the collection classes based on the indexes. So here two elements I have stored in the 0th index and first index. So that's why I'm adding here based on the indexes. So object dot add method, and first 0 index I'm storing integer 1, first index I'm storing integer 2. Okay, that's why when I'm executing this program, I have given system.out.println of L1. That means first will display 1 comma 2 integers in this format. Okay, the array format. So second output 1 comma 2 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 2. That means 5 objects. It is printing 5 objects. The how it is printing 5 objects we will see now. See here, L1, L2. I have created a L2 object. Okay, so I have created a L2 object as another object inside for the array list class, and I'm adding 3 integers, 1 2 3. Okay, already 1 2 are there. Again I'm adding 1 2 3. Okay, and I'm adding add all method. Add all method to store the 1 2 3 integers of L2 object inside the L1 object. So L2 is a second object which is having 3 integers, 1 2 3, because inside the L2 using add method I have added 1 2 3 integer numbers elements. Inside L2 we are having 1 2 3 now, and what I am doing, all these 1 2 3 integers I'm again using add all method adding inside the L1 object. So in L1 already we have 2, right? In L1 we already have 2 integers, 1 comma 2, and again all the L2 objects, that is 1 1 comma 2 comma 3, that means 3 integer numbers. Again I'm adding 1 2 3 inside the L1 using add all method. From where I'm adding, we need to mention the starting index, right? I'm saying from starting index 1 index, that means in array first is 0th position and second is first index, first position. So I'm asking to add all L2 elements inside the L1 starting from first index. That's why I'm giving add all of index 1 comma L2. So in this syntax all L2 integers adding starting from first index inside L1. That's why when you are giving system.out.println of L1, already L1, 1, 2, two integers are there. On top of it, we are adding 1, 2, 3, three integers. That means the same 1, 2 integers once again I am adding and 3. So again 2 plus 3, 5 elements it should display, right? In this system.out.println, it should display 5 elements. That's why when you see the second output, it is showing 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Why means if you see first in L1 we have 1 comma 2 integers. In the after adding L2 objects inside the L1 starting from the first index, if you see first before adding the L2 elements in L1, we have in L1 1 comma 2, and from starting first index means second, right? One number is 0th position, 0 index. Second integer is stored at first index. So as they mentioned add all method, we need to add L2 objects. That means L2 objects having 3 integers, 1, 2, 3. We need to add 3 integer objects inside the L1 starting from first index. So that is the reason here in this first index is 2, right? Second integer stored in first index. So after mentioning that to add L2 objects inside the L1 starting from first index means after 1 it will store 1, 2, 3 again, because 1, 2, 3 are objects of L2, right? See here L2 we added 3 elements, 3 integers, 1, 2, 3. The same L2 we are adding in L1 starting from first index. That's why first index initially it is a first index integer, in this is integer 2, but after storing the L2 objects in the first index, it will display 1, 2, 3 first before 2, because L2 is having 3 elements, 3 integer elements. So we are storing the 3 integer elements inside the L1 starting from first index. So that's why in the above only L1 elements, 1, 2, 2 integers. In second output, we have 1 and 1, 2, 3 again and 2. That means this one is L1 object. Initially we have 1, 2, right? So that this one is same one, L1 element. This 1, 2, 3 is L2 elements. That's why after that again the L1 element 2 is also will display. So totally it will display 5 elements, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, because L2 all 3 integers adding in L1 using this method, add all method. Add all of L1 object dot add all of the position index 1 comma L2. So L2 objects 1, 2, 3, the integers adding in L1 from index 1. So that's why 1, 2, 3 is added in the index 1 starting from index 1. That means 0 index, 1 index, second index number, third index number, fourth index number. So for 5 integers stored in starting from 0 index to fourth index. Okay, the positions actually. So this is the output as per that operation. So after that, what we are doing, we are removing first index integer. So L1 is an object. Inside the L1, before using this remove method. So before this operation, inside the L1, here we have 5 objects, right? See here. Array 1, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 2. That means already L1 having 5 integers. So after that, I am giving the method remove. That means object name dot remove method. what element I am removing? First index number. So if you see, 0 index is one integer, first index is one integer. So I am removing the first index, right? Remove, and I am passing the index number as 1. That means inside the L1 object, I am removing the first index number. That means in this, the first index number is 0. First position is 0 index. Second position is first index. The first index integer is number 1 only, right? So when using remove of 1 means this one will be removed from the L1 object. Then again, after removing 1, I am printing 1. I'm giving system dot out dot println. After removing the first index element, I am printing the output once again to see the remove operation working properly or not. So after removing first index number 1, I am printing it, then it will display 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Correct only, right? One element integer in the first index removed. Then it should have 1, 2, 3, 2. That's why the output is 1, 2, 3, 2. 4 integers. Okay. I will show in Eclipse also. So when you see here, after that, after removing, again I am using get method. So get method, what I am doing, I am getting the third index element. Okay, third index element. I am printing the third index element, and again I am replacing 0th element with fifth number. Okay, if you see here in this get method, L1 dot get of 3 means the third index. What is the third index? 0 index, 1 index, second index, third index. So third index integer is 2. When you are giving a system dot out dot println of L1 dot get of 3 means it will print this integer because third index integer is 2. So it will print 2. Okay. So after that, again what I am doing, I am using set method for replace 0th position element with integer 5. So that's why L1 object dot set method, I am passing the index number 0. That means I am replacing 0th integer, the 0th position number with 5 integer. That means if you see here in this already 1, 2, 3, 2 stored, right? Already available elements, integer elements are 1, 2, 3, 2 integers. Then after that, I am replacing the 0th position. That means first integer with integer 5, right? Integer 5. So this integer 5 at 0th position, I am replacing with existing integer. So existing integer is integer 1. So I am replacing with integer 5. That's why when you're printing it using system.out.println, after replacing, the expected outcome is output is at 0th position, it is replaced with 5 integer, and again 232 will display. So 232 integers display. So the output is 5 integer at 0 position, second integer at the first position, that means first index. So third position is second index, second number. So these are the integer objects, right? So all 5 integer objects stored in 0th position, second integer object stored in first position, first index, the third integer object stored in the second index, and second integer object stored in the fourth index. So always in the collections, the object stored based on the indexes. One second. So output of this program is like this. So I will run this program. We'll see. See, I'm explaining each line by line. Why means when you understand this concept, right? For one class, array list is a one class. Like that, we have a linked list, vector, stack. So if you understand the concept for all the classes, we can follow the same programming. That's why I'm explaining each line by line. So I'm adding a one class here. Class. Okay. So the class name I'm giving. What is the class name here? CFG they have given, right? The class name is GFG. So I'm copying the same name, GFG, and finish. Just creating a class. So it will create a class here. Okay. And I need to give import java dot util dot star. Okay. Always this package we need to use when you are writing a class. Okay. So we don't have time in this like session. That's why I'm copying. So you people don't copy paste. Just understand the program and type in the Eclipse IDE. Okay. So you see here class GFG. Okay. I have given class GFG and then public static void main, and I am executing all this. Okay. As I explained. So when we are executing this, just run as Java application. We see here the output is as we discussed first it is printed L1 objects. If you see here in L1 we have two objects, one two integers. That's why it is printed 1 2, because we are print after adding 2 as integers. I am printing it. So first output is 1 2, and again I am creating L2 object. I am adding three integers 1 2 3, and using add all method I am adding L2 objects inside the L1. That means 1, 2, 3 integers of L2 I'm adding inside the L1 object using add all method starting from first index. That's why here 0 index is 1, first index is, that means integer 1 stored in 0 index, integer 2 stored in first index. So here I am saying starting from first index add 1, 2, 3 integer objects of L2 in L1. That's why second output it is printing first integer it will display in 0th position. From the first index, I am storing the L2 objects because here I said starting from first index L2 objects. That means 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 are stored starting from first index. So this is 0 index. This is first index. So starting from first index, it will store 1, 2, 3 integers first, and then the available second integer it is stored. After the storing 1, 2, 3 integers of L2 object inside L1, it will store the available integer as a fifth index object element. So this is the output. So 1 is the integer 0 position, 1 2 3 are integer objects of L2. Okay, inside the L2 storing in L1. So that's why from index 1 it is storing 1 2 3 objects of L2, And again, the available integer object 2, it is displayed in fifth index. So this is the output. When you give system.out.println, it will print this one. And after that, removing the first index number. So first index number means here the first index number is 1. 0 index is 1, first index number is 1. So I am removing 1. So after removing 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 2. That's why it is printed 1, 2, 3, 2. So system.out.println, after removing the first index number, it is printing 1, 2, 3, 2. And after that, I am using get method to get the third index number. So here in this, third index is 0 index is 1, first index, second index, third index. So the third index, at the third position, third index, we have second integer. So it is displayed second integer because we said system.out.println of L1.get of third index number. So inside the L1, we have 1, 2, 3, 2, and I am getting the third index number I am displaying. So third index number is 2, number 2, integer object. So it is displayed 2. After that, I am replacing the using set method the 0 index number with 5 integer. So in this, before replacing the 0 index 0 position integer is number 1. Then I am replacing with number 5 using set method. So I am printing. Then after printing 1, 2, 3, 2, after replacing one integer with 5 integer, the output should be 5 and 2, 3, 2 will be same 2, 3, 2. So this is how this collection methods operating in a Java collection program. So I hope everyone understood. So I think Mangala is having some question. Go ahead, Mangala.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. Hope you are
Yeah,
doing good.
so the one which you explained, is it the array list?
You see, this is a array list class, Mangala. See, as I mentioned, we have so many classes inside the collection framework, right? Okay. So if you see the definition,
Can I share
see
my
here.
screen for a moment?
Yeah, please. Please, please.
So again, like I'm still waiting for my laptop. Okay, so basically, I was
No
doing the
problem.
same thing on this W3.
Online
So
editor, right? No
yeah,
problem.
one moment.
Are you sharing your screen?
I
Have you
did.
shared?
I did. So
Yeah,
do you
I can
see
see.
my screen?
Yes, yes, I can see. I can see
Okay,
your
so
display.
I went and I created all these. Um,
Okay, that means what you have done here, you are using, you are importing the array list class, java.util.array list. That means in this program, you are importing the array list class. That means all the methods of the array list class you can utilize in this class. So you have created a class name as main and public static void main. Inside that, you are creating an object for the array list class. Cars, CARS, cars is object name of array list class, and you are storing the integer, string objects. So in the example which I shown, I have stored the integer objects. Here you are storing the string objects. So using the add method of array list, you are storing all the integers in this example, and you are printing the cars. So it is printing the starting from the 0th position. If you see first cost dot add of Volvo. So Volvo string object you are storing in the first 0 position, 0 index, and second first index you are storing BMW. So this is array concept only. Concept is array. The collections framework is having array list, linked list, vector, stack, all classes. It will concept is array concept only, but here we are storing objects. Integer is object, string is object. If you see, you are not storing the characters like not you are in the C language, right? You are not storing the objects, but in Java language, it is an object-oriented programming language. So we are storing the objects. So integer is an object, string is an object. So this collection framework is introduced to store the objects in Java. Okay. Your
Okay, so
question,
I'm
you
still,
got the
yeah,
answer or
I'm still trying to understand,
yeah?
like
Go ahead.
in this W3 school, like
Uh-huh.
everything is laid out, right? So
Okay.
it says that we need to try it yourself, right? So I'm just still trying to
Okay.
understand, like what do we like? How do we start? I mean, like, see, when you try it yourself, you will see this coming up.
Don't confuse with the online examples. See, first we need to understand the concept, Mangala. That's what I am explaining each line by line. See, once you understand the basic concepts, what is array list, what is a list, what is a methods in array list class. When you understand the basic concepts, then you can write. No need to see the online examples also. You can write by your own. Tomorrow what I will do, right? I will define my own method name, class name. I will give. Don't look at the online. If you look at the online more examples, see, I asked you to look at the online because you are in the initial stage, right? If you want to write by your own, it will take some time. That's why I asked you to look at some examples in online, but don't confuse about the examples. At the initial stage, if you are looking at more examples in online, you'll get confused. First, understand the concepts. As I explained today, I explained you what is a list. List is an interface. What is array list? Array list is a class. So what is java.util package? Inside the java.util package, we are having all the classes and interfaces. So how you will create an object when you are using list interface array list class. So when you understand these basic concepts, right, then you can write your own program. No need to see the online also in Google. So you can write. I will show tomorrow. First 10 minutes, I will write by own program. I will give by own names. Okay, I will take a banking project. I will take one module payments. So in the payments, when you are joining in the IT job, right? So you can write. You need to write the methods to store the objects. Okay, so I will show that example. So when you understand the basic concepts, then only you can write your own program. So initially you are learning. This is learning stage, right? So first, don't look at the more examples before understanding the basic concept. First understand the basic concepts, then you can look when you look into more examples, right? You can able to grab the knowledge, you can able to understand it. Without understanding concept, so please don't follow the examples every available in the online. Okay, first please understand when I am explaining the topic, right? Understand the topic, raise the questions, okay, about those concepts, then you can able to write the program.
Uh,
Okay.
Venkat garu, I have one
Yeah, yeah.
question అండి. How
Yes,
do we
Seleshi.
know what type of methods are available in the array list?
That's what. See, array list
Because
class.
you told me the add and add all. Is it
Correct,
right? But
correct.
how do I
I, will-
know?
yeah, I will see in the Java, right? Normally in the oops concept, what we have done, example, see here, the oops concept, when I am showing the abstraction example, what I have done, we have written own methods in the class, right? Animal sound, own methods. So, but in the collection framework, it is not like this. Collections is a already we have the methods inside the classes. Three libraries are available. That's why we are doing initially in the GFG example. What I am doing here, I am importing the java.util package. Already all those methods, add all, remove, set, every method of every class. Array list is a class, right? When you are importing in place of star, that means you are importing inside the util package whatever classes, array list, linked list, vector, stack, map, whatever, everything will be utilized inside this program. That's why you are importing the package java.util package. Inside the util package, in the collection framework, every class, array list class, linked list class, everything will have these methods, add all. So I will do one thing. Tomorrow, I will show you in every class, I will show everyone in every class how many methods available inside the java.util package. Then you will understand why we are using these methods. These methods we are using because already array list class having these methods. No need to create like a oops concept. Oops concept is we are creating this is a basic actually. In oops, what we understood, what is a class, what is an object, how you can create an object for a class, and how what is a polymorphism concept, what is a method overloading and overriding, what is inheritance concept. These are the basic concepts. When you see this example, right, whatever in Java going forward, you will see you will face the same concepts. Object creation for the array list class, this is a oops concept, right? What is the object, how you are creating object. So without knowing oops concepts, you can't understand the further concepts of Java. That's why I have explained the oops concepts first. In the oops concept, you know how to create an object for the class. Now going forward, for every concept, for every topic, string object, string collections, exception handling, whatever in Java, the basic concepts are same. That means for any class, object creation is same syntax. So in oops already we discussed. That's why we need to understand the concepts. Then going forward, we need to see the same concepts in every class. And also in the collections, no need to define the methods. Already every class in the java.util package having the existing methods. That is add method, add all method, remove method, already available inside every class like array list, linked list. That's why we are just utilizing. No need to define like oops concepts, public void add, because this add method is already existing method of array list class inside java.util package. So in the collection framework, every class will have different methods. That's why the collection concept is we are using this one for the storing of Java objects. Okay, for storing in a Java objects using array concept, similar to array concept only, but array we are storing the elements in float, double, like that. Here objects, integer, string, so objects. So Java is a object oriented program. So we are storing the objects using this collection framework concept. Okay, so all these methods already available in the java.util package in every class. So that is the reason directly we can use these methods for storing the objects, for removing the objects, okay, for modifying the objects. Understand, Sirisha? I hope you got my answer. You got your answer. Sirisha, am I audible?
I'm a little bit confused also
Ask
because
me,
I
ask me
mean,
once again. Ask your question once again.
no, actually, I mean, you already know the Java developing, so you know all these existing methods. Suppose I am the new to the Java program, so I don't know the existing methods, what are available in Java utility array list.
Okay.
So how do I know? So
That's
these
what.
method I have to use in this program.
Correct. See, actually, that is why this is a learning stage, right? Initially, you don't know concept. You're learning a new concept, collections, Java collections. What I will do tomorrow, I will show why means now I am explaining each concept. What is a list? What is a array list? One by one, I am explaining. But I think getting confused because of the methods, right? What I will do in tomorrow's session, first I will show in every class in a util package what are the available methods. Then you people can able to understand when I'm explaining the program. Okay, so array
Yeah.
list, how many methods available, linked list, how many methods available, because java.util is a package which is having classes, all the classes of collections. So already all the classes having the predefined methods in collection framework. No need to define from our side custom methods. already existing methods of each class in Java collections we are utilizing inside the Java programming when you're writing the classes for the collections. That's why first statement I mentioned, import java.util package. The meaning is all the classes methods we can import, we are importing inside this class. So when you are using array list class, that meaning is available methods of the array list class we can use in this program. Add method, add all method, remove method, all are existing methods of array list class inside java.util package. Okay, I will show all the methods tomorrow before explaining the program. Then everyone will have idea what are the available methods under each class inside the collection framework at java.util package.
Yeah,
Okay,
that would be
the,
great.
yeah, why means in Java concept, right? This import keyword, when you are using import keyword, after that the package name, the meaning is all the classes of that package you can use inside this class. So that's why we are giving import the package name. Okay, so I will explain tomorrow, Sirisha. Okay,
Sure, Venkat garu. Thank you.
yeah, I hope everyone understand this array list concept. Again tomorrow I will do once again, I will explain all the available methods of this array list and everything. Then we'll go ahead.